Hey, just want to give a fair warning before this video starts that there might be a bit of a squeaking noise in the background, so sorry if that annoys your listening. Howdy hey, Tadpole Army! Welcome or welcome back to the bog. I'm your host, Ribbit, and I'm glad you're here. So I've been being lazy with videos, like my introduction was legit 4 months ago. Anyway, I thought today would just be a dumb little video about frog facts. So let's start with me. So my sona is based on the black-eyed leaf frog. If you couldn't tell from their name, these frogs primarily live in trees. They're nocturnal. When the sounds these frogs make sounds like a little horn. No, like really. And other times, they sound like ducks. They live in moist forests above lakes, about 200 to 1,950 meters, or 656 to 6,397 feet for those who need freedom units in elevation. Which, holy shit, just to put that into perspective, the Eiffel Tower is 300 meters. Like damn! I guess that's why frogs are so sticky, to keep them from falling out of trees. Speaking of falling out of trees, these frogs will drop from the trees during mating season. Oh, by the way, that reminds me of how there have been multiple times where frogs have straight up fallen out of the sky. That was because of tornadoes though, not mating season. Anyway, tree frogs are primarily found in Central America, typically in Belize, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Mexico. These frogs lay their eggs on the underbelly of leaves hanging above water, so when they hatch, the tadpoles just fall into the water. Also, a cool fact about tree frogs is their skin color changes with their environment, so they blend in better. So, frogs come in many different shapes and colors. Usually the first frog that comes to people's mind when they think of colorful frogs is the poison dart frog. There's actually a lot of poisonous frogs. That includes tree frogs, by the way. Actually, these frogs aren't even technically poisonous. Their poison comes from their diet. They like eating poisonous ants and insects, which, delicious. In captivity though, they do not get the joy of poisonous insects. They don't have the toxin. But in the wild, some of these frogs are super fucking deadly. Like, they have enough poison to kill 20,000 mice. 20,000! The deadliest are the golden poison dart frog, the black-legged poison dart frog, and the Phyllobates arotania. I don't think I said that right. These three live exclusively in Colombia, and these frogs can kill a human in 20 minutes. On that morbid note, I think it's time I share some quick facts about some of my favorite frog species. Strawberry poison dart frog. They are native to the Caribbean and Central America. Morlette's tree frog. They have clutches of 50 to 70 eggs at a time. Harlequin frog. Named for their bright colors that contradict with the black of their skin. Tomato frog. These frogs puff up like a pufferfish when threatened. Lemur frogs. They change color at night. Glass frogs. They are great camouflagers. Black rain frogs. It burrows holes up to 6 inches deep. Frogs are just so freaking cool. So the final part of this video will just be a lightning round of facts. There are over 7,000 frog and toad species on Earth, and scientists are actively looking for more. Glass frogs make their skin transparent by hiding the red blood cells in their livers. Frogs use their eyeballs to help them eat, so they can't eat when their eyes are closed, because when a frog swallows its food, it pulls its eyes down into the roof of its mouth to help push the food down their throat. Certain species of frogs can freeze nearly solid in the winter and emerge unscathed in the spring. Frogs have roamed the Earth for more than 200 million years, at least as long as the dinosaurs. That's so freaking metal, bro! Also, toads are frogs. They're just called toads when their skin is dry and warty. The largest frog is the Goliath frog of West Africa. It can grow up to 15 inches and 7 pounds, or 38 centimeters and 3.7 kilos, for those of you who don't use freedom units, which is about the weight of a newborn human baby. The smallest frog, on the other hand, is the New Guinea mouth frog, which only grows 7.7 millimeters. Which, it's less than an inch. It is unknown how long frogs live in the wild, but in captivity, these guys can live up to 20 years. Frogs were the first land mammal to have vocal cords. Okay, this next one's kind of gross, so skip to this timestamp if you don't want to hear it. But for the rest of you, the gastric brooding frog swallows her fertilized eggs. The tadpoles stay in her stomach for up to 8 weeks, till finally emerging out of her mouth as little frogs. During the brooding period, gastric secretions cease. Otherwise, she would digest her babies. Also, With Darwin frogs, it's the male frogs who do this instead. It's so gross. It's nasty, oh my god. Moving right along, marsupial frogs keep their eggs in pouches, like kangaroos. The babies get released into the water when they're little tadpoles. Just so you know, they open their pouch with their toes. Frogs shed their skin about once a week. They usually eat the dead skin. There's an Indonesian frog that doesn't have lungs. It breathes through its skin. Frogs have teeth. They're in the upper jaw and it's used to hold prey still till they can eat it. A group of frogs is called an army. The strawberry dart frog is sometimes called a blue jean frog because they have blue legs. There is a frog called the waxy monkey frog that produces wax from its neck to rub all over their body. There are frogs on every continent except Antarctica. Not all frogs can jump. Some of their legs are too short. Frogs' bulging eyes gives them 180-degree vision. The final fact is that frogs are endangered, but there are things that can be done, so check the description for options. Other than that, all I have to say is check out my other socials and subscribe to become a permanent member of the blog. I'll see you on the flip side, everybody. Stay rad.